Oh man, oh man, oh man. When I'm right, it feels so gosh darn good. Normally, I don't like to get on camera and rant in a consecutive fashion because I'm sure you guys can surmise when you're doing nothing but ranting for 30 days and 30 nights, you kind of run out of things to complain about. I'm tired of this lamp right here. This is freaking short privilege right here. You see this, man? You see this? These short people don't have to deal with bumping into freaking lamps. You see me? I'm 6'4". This thing is like 6'4" and like a little bit more. So see, I can bump my head on this. Fucking short privilege right up in this bitch, man. Ugh, privilege argument. Ugh. But this month in particular has been pretty interesting when it comes to publishers making decisions regarding iconic franchises. Just revealed today, Capcom and Ninja Theory are bringing DmC, the latest installment in the Devil May Cry franchise, to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Now, contrary to popular belief, I'm not going to get on here and rant about whether definitive editions are oversaturating the market, do we need them, do we need more original IPs, because I already did a video on that. On my second channel, Neo Game Spark 2, I'm going to post a link down below to an episode of One Tree Prevails. It's a series where you guys submit topics for me to ramble on, and I talked about this one. It was actually one of the last couple episodes I did. So if you want to check it out, links down below. But I will say this. It actually does put things into perspective for the PS4 and Xbox One. We probably have more remasters now than we have new IPs. We got a definitive Station 4, a definitive Box One, and a Nintendo console. So step right up and claim your prize, ladies and gentlemen. Or you can just game on PC. That's the easiest approach. But this is concerning one of my favorite franchises. So I had to get on here and talk about it. And it actually holds some relevance because, ooh, whoa, the gloves are coming off. Oh, man. So this video is not necessarily directed towards Ninja Theory, Capcom, none of those guys, because I've already done a video on them. And if you want to see a great breakdown of the entire development of DmC, check out EventStatus' channel, link down below in the description. Dude did an excellent job detailing the controversy, the statements from Tamim, Alex Jones, Capcom, the media, all that stuff. So go check out his channel if you want a full rundown. This video is directed towards the media. The gaming, journalists, all of you lovely people. All of you white knights. So included in this definitive edition of DmC, it's going to have three main things that I want to focus on. The game's going to be running at 60 frames per second, the game is going to have a higher difficulty, and the game is going to have a lock-on mechanic. You already know where I'm going with this. So, correct me if I am wrong, but those three things, frame rate, difficulty, gameplay decision choices, weren't those the main things that all of you guys in the media were defending with DmC? Weren't those all of the main complaints that the fanbase had with the new DmC? Ignoring all of the BS statements that Tamim made and insulting the old Devil May Cry games, ignoring all of that for just a second. How does it feel? Okay? How does it feel to know we were right? Okay? All the things that we complained about. Look at this. When Ninja Theory does a 180, and they actually go back and put those things that the fans were complaining about, oh, we listened to fan feedback. It's interesting because I could have sworn that the old fans of DmC were nothing but people who had nostalgia boners for dudes in white hair, people who couldn't accept change, people who could not understand that this was a reboot with a new creative vision. Where are all you people, you white knights in the media? Why aren't you criticizing this definitive edition? Why aren't you complaining that it's not locked at 30 FPS? Why aren't you complaining that the difficulty? Why aren't you complaining that there is a lock-on mechanic now? Because those are all the things that you guys said were great gameplay choices in the original release. For such a vocal minority that we are, the old Devil May Cry fans, it's interesting that when they re-released the game, they went back and listened to fan feedback. Coincidentally, all of the feedback were the things that we've been complaining about since 2010. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I know someone's going to get on here and say that, oh, it doesn't matter in the end because DmC was an alright game. Yeah, it was. I've even said that myself. It's an okay game. It's not a horrible game. But the controversy, the fact that the difficulty is so piss poor, the fact that the frame rate is locked at 30 in comparison to other games in the franchise, slow, rugged combat, and when you have other games like Bayonetta and Metal Gear Rising in the market, are you honestly going to sit here and say DmC is a competent action game? The game that does nothing but throw F-bombs in your face, toilet humor, and high scores out the wazoo? You're going to say it's a competent action game. See, this is why gaming media as a whole is a joke. And through all the scandals that have happened over the past couple of months, we see why. There is definitely collusion going on. There is definitely insiders in this industry. And this is just another example. This seriously is. So I find it funny that all of you people who are defending the game for its creative choices, you're going to have to do some backpedaling. You really are, if you are going to sit here and hype up these new additions. Because that's what we were complaining about a couple years ago. It's just funny. Also announced that is Devil May Cry 4. It's getting a special edition, so it's coming out on PS4 and Xbox One. That's cool, I guess. DmC 4 was an okay game. I liked it. Granted, it's not up there on DmC 3's level, but I think as a Devil May Cry fan, we kind of underrate DmC 4 because one game has Nero and one game doesn't. It's an okay game though. I can't wait to see what they do with that. But back onto Capcom for a little bit. I honestly don't know why they're re-releasing DmC, especially considering that the game was a financial failure for them. They had to cut their sales forecast so many times it's not even funny. Granted, the game sold, but nowhere near their expectations, especially for one of their most high-profile franchises up there with Resident Evil, Street Fighter, and Monster Hunter. I guess it just goes to show you that the fans were right. The fans were right all along. And Ninja Theory, Tamim, the gaming media, all you journalists, how do you feel knowing that it wasn't just about the white hair? Catch you guys later.